So we are live again on our Friday here with Mario
All
and
right.
waiting for our Gabo, who told us to count, I don't know what, to
He's 400
100.
Mississippi's and he's late, and he always makes fun of me about being late and busts my balls. So now, Gabo, you're late, and we're live, and I'm making it, and I'm broadcasting it to the world.
Well, he told us to count 100 something, and I couldn't even pronounce the thing. So I'm like, well, I'm sure I already count till 100.
He wanted us to count to 400 Mississippi. I told him he can't pay me enough to count to 400 Mississippi.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, you're supposed to be on hot seat today because last week you were in the car. Today we have Gabo in the car.
Gabo's
I
not even
am,
here.
huh?
Gabo's nowhere to be
Well,
found.
I'm sure he's in the trunk of his car.
The car
You
is.
can see his front seat. But I saw on his Snapchat he was cleaning his car. So it's really nice and clean. So it's good.
Our Gabo got kidnapped by the car. He's no longer.
Oh my god. Yeah, I hope he didn't get kidnapped. I don't know where he is there in California. It's like if
That'll be a
he's too close to the
very
border.
Yeah, that'd be a very bad intro to our episode. Getting one of our panel kidnapped. That would not.
Yeah, let's not do that. I'm sure that he's still counting back there. He was like, I still have found Mississippi counts.
Yeah, if he can keep counting.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Now you can introduce him.
And finally, we have Gabo Styles. Finally made it casually late as usual.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, Gabo, but Mario, he said he needs
Yep.
to bust your balls because you always
Uh-huh.
bust his. So
Your balls have been busted, Gabo.
I was, you know what? Like, I know you said to count something, but I couldn't pronounce it, so we just went live.
That's all right. That's all right.
Did you bring me anything? That's why it took you so long. I thought that you went to take a shower, shave. You went
And
for
nothing-
shopping?
And nothing for us to eat. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, and he's hiding now. Look at him. What a character. Did he look? You busted him too hard, Mario.
What a bad guy. What a bad guy.
You just busted him too hard. Gabo,
right, there we go.
did we busted your balls too hard?
Look at you. You're late. You got car complications. You got mic complications.
There
See
we
how
go.
it feels, Gabo, to be on the other side of the fence.
We're good. We're good to go.
All right.
Awesome. So now it's all three of us. Happy Friday as per usual. And today we need to give the hot seat to our dear friend and partner, Mario, because last week I didn't shut up. So I had a long conversation with Gabo. Now we will have a long conversation and listening to Mario. So I'm going to be quiet.
What about you guys though? Like let's warm up a little bit first because my week was a little
Long?
crazy. Yeah, it was a little crazy.
Okay, Gabo, do you want to first eat your snack and I tell people about my week so we can finish?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
That sounds
because
like a good plan.
right, sometimes I have those. Let's see. Okay, am I losing it? Really? Seriously? Okay. Now I'm lost, guys.
You're good.
Really? Because I lost you. Like I can see where we are. Can you see me?
Perfect.
Okay.
Not clear.
Okay. Give me a second because I lost myself. It says it signed me out. Okay.
And there she goes. Into the black hole. Ladies and gentlemen. Space.
I'm closing my sunroof. See, maybe I have better lighting. 'Cause I can't see you. I think that's better. Maybe my oh no, it's all the way up. Huh. Anyways, Petiak, what happened? We definitely have to edit this.
Yeah, we have to edit all of them. They all have to be edited.
What happened to her?
I don't know. She fell into the abyss.
That's what happened when she's trying to bust my balls. So she have like hacking problems.
I'm glad I'm not the one today
So what's
with
up with you?
Not much, man. Just working. I'm on Illustrator right now. I am working on my podcast cover art. I hired me a
But you nailed it. I thought
huh?
you had it.
I
So
did,
you
I
had it.
did, I did, and I grew.
Guys, that's just like one of those days. It just kicked me out.
So you guys are having
Wow.
all you guys are having all the problems that I usually have.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What we got it from you, it's contagious, you know. It's
No,
just
it's not.
skipping the week. No, it is. It's just, you know, until it came from New York to Las Vegas in California, to take like a week. So, did
Well,
I
you
miss
guys,
anything important, or you were Gabu just snacking?
No, let's go.
Okay.
We're just kind of catching up. We already talked about all the important things, so that's it.
So now it's my part. We already discussed the important. Yeah. So my week, it was very busy with my school, so I felt like I wasn't doing like, you know, too much. But I started to do my coaching calls. You know, I have a client in London, the beautiful lady that I met in Whole Foods I was telling you about. So we started the coaching, and I absolutely
Yeah.
love it. She's fantastic. Like, she does everything I tell her, you know, and her account it started growing, and so I'm super excited about her. She's doing really great. And then one of my clients in my previous job, she
Yeah.
told one lady about me, and it was bad because when I got my food poisoning, I completely blacked out and I forgot about our meeting. Like, it never happens to me, you know. And so I just spaced out, and I called her the next day, apologized, and she was okay with it. So we met the next week. We talked, and it was so funny because I told her, like, can you tell me a little bit about your business? So she was telling me she has a business where she's doing like fat measurements and body measurements and all the health stuff, and just, you know, like, it's my world. Like, I love it, you know, all the health stuff. So she's telling me, and I'm like, so this is like a franchise or licensing? And she was like, funny story, it's a licensing, and I got they're issuing only 11 licenses, okay? And she got lucky because one person couldn't do it, so she got the number 11. And she was like, funny enough, number 11, it's my favorite number. I'm like, you know what, mine too, because with my grandma, we believe that when you see on your clock 1111, that's a sign of angels, you know, like it's just a sign of universe that you are on the good path, that you're on the right path, whatever you're doing. And she was like, I have to tell you a personal story when we are done. So we had the talk, you know, business and all these things, and then she told me her personal story that I'm not going to be sharing here, you know.
Why not?
It's
I'm
really
just
personal,
kidding.
and
I'm
it
just kidding.
honestly, it was a family tragedy, you know, so I don't want to share it.
Of course, no. That
But
would be very unprofessional.
yes,
I'm just joking around.
but the thing is that we both connected, and she told me her story, and that's when I tell her this is what really connect people. Like, she told me her story, she's crying, I'm there, you know, with the tears in my eyes, and I knew I loved that woman already just because of her values, her family, the way she works, the way she talks, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I really want to work with her. And I met her on Tuesday. Today it's Friday. So on Wednesday, I sent her email to follow up. And it's funny because I sent her a picture about the explanation of the 1111 because she never heard it. And she emailed me just right before I jump with you on the, you know, on the live. So that's why I'm like so pumped up. And she told me, I just discussed with my husband all the details. We want to hire you. Where do we start? So I'm just so over the moon happy, you know, not just because I got new client, but because last three ladies that I got, I just start with them, but I already feel so connected with them. And it's not about, oh, I got a client or I will have money. And it honestly doesn't matter if it will last a month or 1 year. Just for me, it's like you know how I always tell you about the pat on your shoulder when you're feeling a little bit like you're working so hard and you don't know if it has even like any sense. This is pat on my shoulder that there are people who will love what you do for who you are and trust you completely. You know, it's just so empowering.
And what? How did you land? How did you land these clients again? Like
So
share that with us.
yes, definitely. So the first client that I got, it's her name is Jen, and she used to be life and health coach, but I found her on Instagram searching for a hashtag. You know, I always like take like 15-20 minutes every night. I go on my PK Media Solutions Instagram account, and you know, like the hashtags, it's like a Google search. So what you do, you just type in the hashtag and it shows you the people or the hashtags or the places that are similar to what you're looking for. So I was looking for like womanpreneur, boss girl startups. And when I was going through the feeds, I really liked one picture. It was like, I can't honestly remember what was it, but it caught my attention. So what happens when something caught your attention in the social media feed, you want to read what is it about. And this lady, she was talking about 432 hertz music, and I never heard of that. And so I leave a comment on her caption on her post, and I'm like, what is this about? What is the 432 music about? What is this tone about? And she answered to me later on back, and she was like, this is like a tone for your brain to be in balance, to be in peace, and to feel good. So, you know, like I pay attention what she was writing. She answered to me, and because I commented on her picture, she went to my Instagram and she sent me, she saw what I'm doing. I'm social media marketing manager. She sent me a message and she was like, I would like to know more about what you're doing. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I always set up a free phone call with the people. I don't like messaging and texting. It gets lost in the translation. I set up a free call with her. We talked like an hour. Couple days later, she's like, hey, are you going to follow up with me? I'm like, I don't do follow-ups. When you do a free coaching call with me, I tell her what she can improve, what she can do. I give her the basics. You know, I give them. So if they take nothing else, they can use what I gave them and better their Instagram or better their social media. And so I'm like, I'm not following up. This is who I am. I told you what I can offer. And if you would like to work with me, I'm ready anytime you are.
So you give
what? What did you say? Gabo is going to be in and out today. It's like you last week.
Shame on you, Gabo. Look what you did.
And oh, poor guy, he looks. Don't even show the picture.
Is it bad that I'm kind of enjoying this?
No, I mean, we were enjoying you last week. That's okay. Poor guy.
Gabo.
So that's the value that I gave her, and she texted me.
Yeah. So what we can learn from this is a couple of things actually, because that story is a really, 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 really strong example of the power of social media and why it's important to be on there looking good, having a committed online presence that matches all around the board. And it's not automated. It's not once somebody follows you and you follow them back, and then right away you have this automated bullshit algorithm that's sending them a message that's not human. It's robotic. It doesn't work. What you did was actually comment like a human being. H2H. Again, it all goes back to H2H. You comment like a human being. She responded, and because she saw that you were human and she had somewhat of a connect, because what attracted her to you? She looked on your account and she was like, well, I could see myself, whether it was subconsciously or consciously, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that she saw something in you and she reached out to you, and now you have a client. So that's social media at its finest. I mean, that is
It
the
is, it is.
example of
And
social
also my second client, I didn't met her online, I met her in person, but I was very intentional about what I was doing. You know, guys, that I prepare my ideal client profile because I want to send out the energy with the people that I really want to work with. So I wrote down exactly what is her name, where does she live, and all these details.
Your avatar.
Yes, it's like, yeah, every person, yes. So it's the avatar. So you create the avatar of your ideal client, and I am as detailed as possible. It doesn't mean that you're going to get client or you want to attract just that person because it's 35 years old, she has 2 kids, lives there and there. No, it's the feel, you know, how is this person? Because you will really connect with that person. So I was driving because I'm also a fitness coach. I train people here in Las Vegas. I have just very few clients, but one of them, it's older gentleman. He doesn't have a car, so I take him like maybe once a week, every 2 weeks. I take him to Whole Foods here store to help him, you know, pick up, really make sure that he's not eating cookies all day, that he would love to, you know. I go and I get his veggies and fruit. Anyways, so I'm there by the fruit aisle and I see their lady, and it's exactly that boho chick style, you know, that my ideal client would be wearing. So I walk up to her and I'm like, I really love your blues, because I really love her style, what she was wearing and her energy. She was smiling. And she's like, oh, thank you so much. So to make it really, really, really short, she's from London. I used to live in London. I asked her, what is she doing in Las Vegas? She told me she's there in conference, but she would like to talk with me a little bit more about what I'm doing. What is she doing? I'm super busy, but something inside was telling me, make time. So I made time that week that she was in Las Vegas, met her 2 times for a lunch, and I was giving her value. Again, it's all about giving. I am not going, let's listen. I want to get a client. I want to get paid, but I need that people to really connect with me and to know, you know, that I want the
You
best.
need to build trust. Yeah, you have to give them trust.
Exactly. And that's how you build a relationship. Imagine that you go on a first date with someone and you will go there with the ring and you will be like, I want to marry you and have 2 kids with you. The girl will be like, you're crazy. And she will run away. But if you go to the date and you tell them, you know, about yourself, about your values, you go to second day, you go to third day, you build the trust. And the same with social media. You know what I hate on social media? Hi, Gabo.
And he's back, Gabo.
I had to like freaking sprint to the nearest Starbucks, and I'm still in their Wi-Fi, so now I'm good.
We will remind you. We are still going over non-important stuff, you know.
Petra, you just said a really good metaphor about social media and dating. I want you to continue on that.
Okay, Gabo, I need to tell you. So I was just saying that social media, it's like a dating. When you go on a first day, you cannot bring a ring and say, hey, I want to marry you and have a couple kids with you, because the chick or the boy will be like, you're crazy, and they will run away. So what do you have to do? It's go on the first day, say who you are, you know, what are your benefits, what are your values, what do you believe in, just so the person have the opportunity to decide if you are the right fit or not, because you don't want any kind of client. You want a client who clicks with you, who believes in you, and who has the same values, you know. So the same it's with social media. You need to create a relationship. You need to create trust, and that's why.
That's very, very, very well said, dude. Very well said.
Thank you. Thank you for calling me dude. I just love that. Anyways, we know it's you. It's you.
I call everybody dude. My mom.
I know. We know it's you. It's. I know. My best friend, she's a girl, and she calls me dude too. So, Christina, here is a shout out for you because you call me dude too. I love her to death.
It's a very bad millennial trait. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what it is. It just.
That's okay. That's okay. And my second client, even though I didn't met her online, I created her online because I did the work. I created the avatar, and when I met her, I was giving her the value, meaning I told her how to manage her social media. I told her how to create it, how to use the hashtags, how to find the people, how to bring value, how to use the IG stories. So if she doesn't want to hire me, I'm fine. You know, she's a beautiful person. I would love to help her. But on the second launch, when we went, she was like, okay, how much do you charge? How can I hire you? I never, you know, like I wasn't trying to sell. And my third,
And then what happens at that point? How does the conversation go to? Like she tells you how much you charge, and
to be honest, that's
then
when
what?
I get a little bit nervous because that's
Well,
my
that's
favorite
why I want to
time.
talk about it,
okay.
because that's the really where it
Yes,
gets
where it
hard.
gets hard. Yeah. To be honest, guys, I always had a hard time talking about money because of my past, the way I grow up. I have hard time asking people because I feel like I need to do things and I need to be buying friends. It's because the way I was raised and how I moved from, you know, big town to little town. So for me, asking people to pay me, it's so hard, you know. So when she says, okay, so how we can do it, how much you are charging, that's when I get a little bit uncomfortable. So I do a little talk around it so I can, you know, take a deep breath. So what I tell every time, it's honestly, it really depends on you and what do you need. Because yes, I'm social media marketing manager. I can manage their accounts. Some people are creatives, like I have a health coaches, life coaches, and those people, they don't want to be posting. I had a firefighter, you know, like they don't want to be posting. They want to be doing their business. So in that case, what I do, I will post for them, but I include also the coaching because I don't want to just do their stuff and they don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing and they're not growing. So I usually have 1 or 2 monthly coaching calls with them when I tell them how to create the videos, how to create the content, you know, so it's their part of the work, I would say. So that's what I tell her first. It depends what you really want. I can be managing your accounts and do couple times
When
a
you say
coaching call,
managing, it means that you are actually
posting for them.
and writing for them and all that stuff. Okay.
Um, well, like I said, with each client it's different. Like I have clients, we are so connected. Like I have a health coach, and Gabo, you're loud.
You're very loud.
Lick it. Don't use the spoon. Just lick it.
God was having a ball today. He's
Oh
having so
my
much
gosh,
fun.
Gabo, we know how to turn you off. Behave.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
Okay. Cheers, guys, to Fridays.
Uh,
So. Oh, Gabo,
Sorry.
happy Cinco de Mayo. Did you see my dog? Go to PK Media Solution. You need to see my dog. She was sipping tequila.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is
really?
how you get more traffic on your website. Which pet you
With
Instagram.
puppy.
That's exactly how you do that. So,
Yeah, so just squeeze it in, okay? But anyways, so I tell
How
her.
do you close a client?
Huh?
How let's tell people how do we close a client? I think that's the biggest thing
Okay,
that
so
people
how
want to take
do you
out of
close
this.
the client? I give them the option. I let them know that they are unique because in my business, really, it's very custom and it depends if I'm managing 1 account or 2 accounts. So I tell them, me working with you, it's very, you know, close. It's very personal. You tell me what do you need, and then we base the price on it. So I ask them, I give them the option to tell me what do they need, you know. So she tell me, I want to be managing my accounts myself, and I want you to help me to grow. So she wants me just to do a weekly coaching. So it's 4 times weekly coaching, and I have a price for that.
have a prize?
Well, so a quote.
Okay.
Do I have to say it online?
And
Yeah.
What if I change the
why
price?
not? It's public, right? Isn't it public?
Yes.
Like,
No.
what if you get a client from this?
Yes.
What happened to
Yes.
giving value?
I told you I feel shy talk about money. Okay, so it's $500 for the coaching
For so
amount.
So hold on, $500 a month, and you get 4 weekly calls.
Yes, she get 4 weekly
No,
calls.
How long are the calls?
To be honest, I don't, it's usually it's like 40 minutes, but we usually go like an hour or hour and a half. My last week client.
What? Okay, let's stop there. Let's stop there.
You're a good marketer, man. I mean, that's why they're happy, because you're giving them so much value, which is probably why they feel so great working with you.
I mean, now that's 16 hours, right? My math is correct?
Honey,
A
it's
month?
1 weekly call. So it's 4 calls a month. Do
Oh,
your
a
math
month.
again.
One client.
Not weekly, though.
No, that's what I thought.
No,
Yeah, that's what I thought. One weekly call.
1 weekly call.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was 4 weekly calls.
Oh, no. No. Sorry. It's my check. Sorry. It's the accent. No, it's 1 weekly call. They have access to me. So if they have any questions, they send me a snap or they send me text message when there is something that's not working, or if they don't know how to do, I'm there for them, and so they have a 7 days a week, access to me. And then I send them also, I create a PDF files because I do a coaching call with you. I will tell you what to do. If you write down your notes, you might not remember everything. So let's say how to create your ideal client avatar, or how to create your bio. So every week we have different topic, and I give them assignments. So I make sure that they follow through and they really do their things. So every week we have a different team. 1 week we are working on Facebook Live. 1 week we are working on Instagram stories, and I make sure that they do the Instagram stories, they send it to me or they tag me there so I can see their progress. And then we discuss, what was hard, what was good, what they did good, what we can improve. And so we, the first call, we recap, let's say 20 minutes, hey, how you doing? What did you struggle with? What was good? I always analyze their efforts, so I'm ready. And then the second part of the coaching call, I teach them something new. And after the coaching call, I usually send it the next day, because I want them to go over their own notes before I send them my own notes. You know what I mean? So whatever I teach them, they write it their own way. And next day I send them, I create PDF file for what they need. So
that's very, very that's very well planned out, Petya.
It's good.
Thank you. This is just the start. Yeah.
So when I start bringing in clients, when I'm ready to, when I'm not, after I launch this podcast and I get this exhausting moment over, I'm going to come to you for some advice, because
anytime
taking on some clients here.
Yeah. So that's how I got my 3 clients the last month.
For the record, the good thing that I thought was today's market to talk.
You're breaking up.
The important part.
What did you say?
Hear
me?
No,
you're breaking up. Say that again. There he goes.
Hey, but this time he has a cute smile. Yes.
What'd you say?
Saying that today the good thing was that it was supposed to be Mario's time to talk.
So it will be. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Because now, Gabo, okay, you're breaking in and out. So take a deep breath. Tell us your wins, and then I'm moving all the attention to Mario so he can talk. I have my coffee here so he can talk.
No, man. Can you even hear me? This stupid Starbucks here.
Starbucks.
Really, am I breaking up?
Blame it on Starbucks.
Gabo's blaming Starbucks.
Let's not advertise Starbucks here.
Fuck up, Gabo.
Stupid Starbucks.
Their
Wi-Fi is together.
Their Wi-Fi is not strong enough to reach me out in the parking lot. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Go inside. That's your fault.
No, because I actually, it's a mess today. My headphones are at home. It's just disaster.
Gabo, you're here. You listen. This is how real life works. You know what I mean? You're an entrepreneur, and you will make it work no matter what. You just do.
No matter
You're
what.
there. So just Gabo, what were your wins, real quick? You have a minute
All right.
before you break out.
One 1 minute wins. So today, what we talked about last time about me having that meeting with the clothier and that whole thing, it's happening Monday. So that's already set on the book. So that should be pretty fun. Another win this week was that the event that I'm having, the Social Gents event that I
You're gone.
now led to a girl from
You're breaking up,
Traditional
Gabo.
Jewelers, which is a high.
Gabo, listen, don't be cursing at Starbucks. Gabo, can you just go without the video, go just the voice? Can you do that? Try it. Can you just go not sharing don't share your video, turn your camera off and just talk. Oh my God, look at his face now. I'm dying.
Am I up?
Let me see. Okay, so you're off. Let's try to talk. Try to talk.
No, I'm just looking at myself.
Don't look at yourself. You're supposed to talk.
No. And reception is horrible.
All right, Gabo. All right, Gabo. This is today is not your day, mate. I'm sorry. I know how it feels, though. I've been
No. Yeah,
Gabo, we love you. Gabo, we love you, but you are off today. You look pretty. We love your shirt. We love your energy.
And I love
Starbucks.
I love the leather seats, Gabo. Really nice. Nice touch.
Yep. Yeah, I saw how they were cleaning it. Yeah. So, Gabo, stay there. Stay pretty. Just smile, you know. Like Mario had to do the last week. And Mario, it's your turn. Sorry, Gabo. You will have a hot seat next week, Gabo. I promise. Just get your things together.
Sounds good.
Okay, Mario, your turn. Talk.
All right. So, where should I begin? Let's see.
Tell us the exciting news because I'm super excited to hear about that.
Yeah, so the exciting news is I, for the first time ever in life, finally hired a mentor.
Yay! That will be life-changing. Who is he?
My mentor is Michael O'Neill from the Solopreneur Hour podcast.
Woo!
So he,
nice.
I listened to his podcast before I went to Social Media Marketing World. And then when I went to Social Media Marketing World, on the very first day, the very first workshop of the very first day was Michael O'Neill holding a workshop for podcasting. And there I was, my first, he broke me in. He was the first guy to introduce a workshop at Social Media Marketing World. So I sat there and I absorbed all the information that he threw at us in the workshop, and then you guys know how I am, like a lunatic. After the workshop is over, I ran up to him like a madman, asking him a bunch of questions, trying to get a selfie in.
Yeah.
I got all that done, and then that's how I got to make that connection. And then I did some mentor shopping, and I felt most comfortable with Michael because he is so raw with his words. Like, he'll tell you whether you suck or whether you're doing great, and there's no beating around the bush. And I like that. I like the brutal, honest aspect of him. So that's definitely something I'm excited for. So every week there is a mastermind video chat on Zoom, and he has a Facebook group also for the Solopreneur Hour, and it's very, very, very active, and it's so much fun in there. Everybody's always talking, exchanging ideas, asking for advice. Guys, they are super responsive. There's always somebody on. It's a small group, but that's what I love about it the most. It's very intimate, and we get to really know each other personally, and we get to know each other's projects and brands and businesses, and really get to be able to give good feedback and advice because we get to know each other so well just from being in that room all day, just lounging on Facebook. So that I just added tremendous value to myself and to this podcast idea and to me as Mario Eldon as a brand by signing up with Michael O'Neill for the year. So I have him for the year now, and I'm just really excited to see what happens next. And because of the phone call, because of him, I finally had my first phone call with them as well, and I've decided to build a website for my, because I was gonna run the podcast through marieldon.com, but then I thought about it, and I shouldn't do that because I haven't really gave anybody value, and I haven't proved myself to people for them to follow me or to listen to me as Mario Eldon. You know what I mean? I feel like I need to build up to that. I need to build up credibility for people to trust me that I'm able to deliver value and I could be a good host and I can give a good conversation and I will provide value and I will educate and inform you about live video marketing. So because of that thought, I'm going to build live video marketing as its own entity, as its own brand. And then maybe later on in the future, when I build a following, I will introduce myself into the picture, but I don't want to be selfish. I want to give people everything before I ask for anything from them. So anyways, back to Michael O'Neill. During our phone call, we talked about a website. I'm working on the website now. It's a WordPress website with the Genesis framework. For anybody that's listening, Genesis framework is absolutely amazing. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but seriously, it's just epic. It's just a really clean framework. And if you buy a premium theme from a good developer, from a good dev shop, and then you'll definitely have an easy time building a website. And it's very responsive, and it's just awesome. So I just want to give that advice out to people. If you're on WordPress, check out Genesis framework.
Awesome. We have to leave it later on in the show notes.
Yeah.
Is that Genesis framework only for podcasts?
No. Genesis framework. So when you decide to build a website with Genesis framework, you're going to have to buy the framework separately, and it's a one-time fee. I think right now it's like $60, $70, something around there. Don't quote me on that. It's around that amount of money. You buy the framework one time, and then once you buy the framework, you can buy as many Genesis things as you want, and that one framework will work. That one download will work for any of your clients, for any or whatever.
How does that differ from like the only themes that I'm kind of familiar with, the ones that you buy through Theme Forest?
Yeah, Theme Forest.
And then you use it.
Yeah, the Theme Forest. Yeah, and so in the Ivantu market, there's Theme Forest where you can buy premium WordPress themes. That's what God was talking about, guys.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is they're great. They're absolutely great. But Genesis framework is something completely different. It's an actual framework, and on top of that framework, they're building specific themes around tailored for that framework. So that framework. So why is Genesis framework so great? Because it gives you so much flexibility and to customize your website and make it much.
So for the people that are listening, what's the framework? Like, what's comparable, or what are other types of framework, or what's the framework for people that are listening? Because I don't even know.
I mean, the best way I could explain it, honestly, it's like Genesis framework is like a WordPress inside of a WordPress. So I would think Genesis framework is like a WordPress. It's like WordPress is ultimately a framework. You know what I mean? Is
that like visual effects? Is that a framework?
I mean, framework is not really visual effects. No, I wouldn't explain it as visual effects. Like with Genesis, again.
No, not like there's this thing that it's called visual. Or maybe it was not visual effects. It was visual builder, maybe. Press themes that I got. There's
no, you're talking about like page builder, and you're talking about
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
is that framework? Are those frameworks or no?
No. Those are third-party website builders that help you make responsive and customizable pages individually, and it comes in the form of blocks, and it's like drag and drop, something like page builder.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Right.
That wouldn't be. I don't. No. I wouldn't call that a framework. I wouldn't. No. But those are also useful. Absolutely.
Okay.
Gabo, can I have a question? I'm sorry. How did you last week share this to your Facebook? How did you share it?
Oh, I just copied the link.
Not the Google
right now that
Hangouts?
you're doing this, like, no, through right now the one that you're doing through your YouTube. You know how you started this live feed. There's a link that if you go to your dashboard there, you'll see a link for this recording, and then you can post that on Facebook or any of your social media, and then that's the one that will link to the video.
Yeah, because
It's
Yeah,
just a
because
link.
I tried to go in it and like I have so many things open now that I just don't see where we are. Like
Yeah.
I have open Google
All right.
Hangouts, but I didn't know how I thought it I can share this and I can't. So
No, it's through YouTube.
okay,
All right. So then the Genesis framework. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's what I'm using for my podcast website, and for all the podcasters out there or future podcasters out there that are listening to us, we love you. But besides that, there is a website called Appendipity, Appendipity. Appendipity.
stories and I
Excuse me.
no to make nothing sure that they do the Instagram I'm story. Just sorry. Damn it.
I I can't hear. Would you
I
just?
know. Nothing. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to multitask and it's not working. Sorry. Give me a second.
All right, so Appendipity is a website that is dedicated to podcast themes on WordPress using the Genesis framework.
Uh huh.
So it's complete. All their themes are podcast related, and they have beautiful, beautiful themes that are very lucrative and very responsive, and and a lot of audio integrations. It comes ready. It's like, basically it's like turnkey. We use that term all the time in marketing, turnkey. And that's the kind of websites that they have here for podcasters. I'm using the Marin Pro theme on there. So if people, we're going to leave the Appendipity link on there. Their support system isn't that good. Their tech support really sucks. Sorry to say that, but it's the truth. I don't want to lie. But the themes themselves are awesome. So so there's that. And yeah, so that goes for the website. And so now besides the website, I'm really just focusing on my branding. So that's what I'm doing now, focusing on the branding. And as for my social media, I have my Instagram has been growing. So that's something that's I've been having a lot of wins with that. I've been keeping active with I've been trying to keep up with Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, and also posting on Instagram twice a day. And some days I'm only doing once a day. I'm doing trial and error, seeing like the days that I get most engagement on. I try to post twice a day to
Uh
attract
huh.
more attention.
Just on is it the Instagram that you're mentioning that you're doing twice a day?
Yeah, yeah.
Because what happens with Instagram, I used to be posting like 3 times a day, when it was chronological. Now, all my mentors that I have, like, for the Instagram that I'm doing, they say you have to just test your audience. But when you're posting more times a day, you need to realize that you're splitting the engagement basically in whatever you're posting, because now people are not going to see it chronologically, but based on the engagement. So if you post twice a day, you might be splitting the attention. So if you post once a day, what I usually and like I said, you have to test it what your people really like, like I tried
That's
it.
absolutely true, because and again, it's a hit or miss, depends on the content and depends on the post, the time, and the hashtags that you're using, because
I'm sorry, the time doesn't matter anymore because the people are not going to see it when you post it like right away, but based on the engagement. So what I just usually do, it's post and make sure that you have a like engagement right away, because then it's going to be showing in your people feeds, in the new ones and the ones that are following you, in the explore page. So time doesn't matter anymore now. Hashtags, that's crucial word that you mentioned.
are you
That's
sure time doesn't matter? I don't
time
know.
doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter because whenever you
There's different time zones and different. I mean,
exactly, there are different time zones, but it's going to be showing like see where your people are, like where you get the most people that are following you, see where they are posting that time, because what you really need, it's just the first boost, the first engagement, but I mean, I don't know how many followers you have. Let's say you have 100 followers. What you really need, it's just like 3 or 5, like a little bit longer comments right away. So that will say Instagram that you're popular, and it will keep showing you, and it doesn't matter when did you posted it. It's going to be showing in the explore page for others for a longer period of time, because it tells it that you're relevant. You know what I mean? So what do
Yeah,
you
on
really
that,
need?
I mean, on that, my page has been at 12.4 for the longest time. The last, I don't know, months maybe. It
Instagram?
kind of plateau. I got it to the, yeah, and then just last week. It's been a week, I think. Last week I started. I switched a little bit my hashtags just to see if they made any difference, and then I also I'm not. I was posting more now. I'm posting at the most 2 times a day, but um, I realized how the I post my picture, I put the hashtags, and the one thing that I'm doing, I went back to doing what I was doing in terms of following people that are active on Instagram, and I can see right away it started working, and I now I'm at 13,000. So
What do you mean that you went
works,
you
you know.
went back
I started.
to the people that are active? Can you explain it? Because you said that you're like following people that are active on
So,
the Instagram.
so the accounts I've tried different accounts that are in my niche, like menswear accounts, people that are having engagement. But I realize it's not even about how big the account is. But what I do is I see that the post was posted in the last couple hours, and if it's minutes, even better. So if I find a post that has been posted in the last, let's say, half an hour, 25 minutes, and I see that that post has already, even if it's 150 likes, or maybe I can find one that the account is big and it already has 500 or 1,000 likes. What I do is I go and I follow the people that had just liked that picture. What that does is, like, that gives you a really good idea that those people are actually in their phone, or they're active in their phone because they just like the picture. So good chance of having those people kind of liking you back, or seeing your account. So I started doing that
I
again, and I went up to 13,000 in a
It's
week.
like
So
follow for
I
follow,
gained like,
yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it is.
What I
But I
also
mean, follow
yeah, that is
Oh,
because you're on the
following
same
people. I
page.
mean, following people. The thing is, following people, all you're doing is just raising your hand, like, hey, like, I'm here. And then
I do
when somebody gets
something very
followed,
similar. I do something very
that's
similar,
all it is.
but what I do is there are people that are where I want to be, or people that I think that my ideal client will follow. Let's say Jasmine Star, or Gabrielle Bernstein, or like just the entrepreneur women. So I go to their last
Yeah,
post. I see people that commented, because you know what, Gabo, you have to also realize that with the algorithm, if you get people that they don't comment, they're not like active, like liking pictures, it's great. What really spikes your engagement, it's the real comments. People need to comment more than 4 words. If somebody comments on your Instagram with 2 or more emojis, to Instagram it's saying it's bot, so it like
yeah. I'm starting to pick up, like, I'm starting to pick up on my own accounts that I'm realizing, like, these guys are posting the same, or like pretty, like, just
that's the bots,
random.
that's the bots.
Yeah,
that's
so I'm
why that's
right.
why I prefer to see, when you do what you are doing, maybe try, instead of following the people that I just like, click on the comments and see who left a real comment, not just like 1 word or one emoji. What I do, I see who commented there, like, 1 sentence, you can tell what is real person and what is a bot, so on
I
those
mean,
people.
that's not always, because I have, like, today one of my friends, they commented awesome, and I'm like, God
Oh,
damn
no,
it,
no, no,
man.
I get
Even
it, I
even you
get
I
it.
guys,
I, I comment. I comment real comments, and they might look like bots. I mean, I
No,
say,
no,
hey,
no. I
nice.
know, I
I
know.
usually the one thing that I always try to do, the one thing that I always try to do that I think makes sure that they know it's not a bot is like I always put their name. Like I take that time to go and check their
Yes,
name, find their
yes,
name, and I
yes.
always put their name.
Yes, that's a huge one. That's a huge one because in the past, I was thinking that people like the words of endearment. Because English it's my like what third language. So I was thinking if you call
Yeah.
people like dear or honey or whatever,
No.
people like it. But then I learned what the people like the most, it's when you call them the first name. It also creates the trust. So awesome job, Gabo. I do the same. I go to their account. I see
Yeah.
if not everybody, not everybody leaves it there, but if they have the first name there, I go to their account, I see that, I click, I hit the like their comment and I leave a real comment. And that's how you see, like you remember you told me last week, like, why do you have only 700 followers if on your other page you have 32,000? And I told you because I'm not growing it intentionally, like going. And I got in last week like 50 followers only because I went and commented on a couple pictures. You know what I mean? But the real followers, people that are commenting and liking what I do. So these are really
Right.
great tips for those who are listening to us. Take the time, go to the places that you think your people will be, or go in your niche, look into it, see the comments, see the likes, see how recent it is, look at the hashtags. And Gabo, also very important things what you did with the Instagram shadow ban. I don't know if you heard of it, but I just wrote the blog
Yeah.
post on it on pkmediasolution.com. I know another out of mine, but for those who want to read a little bit more about it, I just put the basics, but you need to change up your
Yeah.
hashtags, change the count, change what you're using, because if you're just copy paste and use always the same, you're going to be
Yeah.
invisible for the new people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm not trying. To be honest, I'm not losing too much sleep over that. Like I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into this roller coaster where I'm just like panicking because of the hat. Like,
No, 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 no,
be
no. But
good.
yeah, I know. But also, it's not just about us. It's also about the people that are listening to us. So it's really good to, give them the tips. And then, like you said, don't lose sleep over of it. If people unfollow you, if you have a little bit less engagement, just, be true to yourself, do what you believe in, and the right people will stay there. Right, Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that from
Yeah.
firsthand, man. I mean, I'm just starting growing my Instagram account. Like I was saying before, I got a couple of wins on Instagram and on Snapchat because I've been doing my stories on both. I've been trying to keep up with that, and and on Twitter. I haven't really focused on
Yeah.
Facebook much because of I'm not paying for ads, so I'm just waiting a little bit until I can set myself up. But no, absolutely, I agree with you, man. It's I you got to stay true. You got to hold your ground. You got to you just got to keep to your guns,
And
and then sooner or later you're gonna attract
the
the
one
right
thing.
people that are
Yeah.
gonna want to stay and engage with your content because that's why you're creating
Yeah.
the content so people to engage
The
and learn from it.
the biggest thing is the content. It comes down to no matter what you do, hacking this, paid, not paid. Even Gary Vee said it like last week. Is like it doesn't matter if you once you get the attention, it still comes down to if the content is
Content.
good.
Yes.
You can pay all you want, and then people will see your picture. But if your picture sucks or it has nothing really relevant, then who cares if
Yeah.
people saw it?
Exactly.
You're better off less people seeing it, but as long as your content is good, then you're gonna have engagement. And I see that with my pictures. Like I can tell when it's a good picture, I can tell right away. And I can tell
Yeah.
like more. Obviously, I try to post as best picture as I can, but all of a sudden there's that one that people liked it. Like I just posted one yesterday about an overhead shot of my shoes, my watch, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason that picture did really good.
Mm-hmm.
It got to 300. It got to 300 likes like within 12 hours, and
Yeah.
then I got like 20 comments. And when pictures before were taking almost 2-3 weeks to do that, so it's all about making sure that the content you're putting is relevant to you or to the topic
Who
that
you
you're
want to
trying
speak
to
to?
generate on your account,
Exactly.
who you're trying to talk to, and make sure that it's good quality, and then everything else works out. Um, yeah, I mean,
You're
I
definitely
think when
right because
yeah,
it doesn't matter, you know, like you say, if you pay ads or not. But you, Mario, your content, it's amazing. It's really you, you know, like I see it and I smile because I met you in person, you know. I was lucky enough to meet you in person. And what you're putting out there, that's just piece of you. And I love that. And that's what works the best, you know. So just keep doing whatever you're doing, build slowly but steady, and it's just you got it.
but
Yeah,
but on that, like
I'm getting a lot
being
of
yourself, at the same time you have to make sure that, but at the same time as you be you, but you have to still pay attention to what works best of you. You know, because
Yes,
a
yes.
lot of people can listen to that, say like, okay, I'm just gonna be me. Okay, great. But
No,
at the same time, just being you, there's things that are gonna be work better
yeah,
than others.
you're
You
right.
know, I'm not saying to pretend, but I could be myself. But maybe the pictures that I post that don't have my
My God.
face work better.
Yes,
there's a
Gabo,
lot
that's
of times
just
where you think that whatever you're posting is excellent because you believe in
no,
it so much, but
Yeah, exactly.
no.
sometimes you throw yourself off because you think you know what everybody's thinking, but you really
Yeah.
don't.
The thing is, you're so right. I had
And
this
you're wrong.
conversation yesterday, you know, because I have a couple clients, you know, and I always tell them, I want you to stay true to yourself, but you need to realize that you are also in business. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's a little bit hard sometimes because my clients, some of them, let's say they're life coaches or health coaches or Reiki coaches, and they're like, well, I don't care about makeup. I don't care about, you know, what kind of clothes I'm wearing. I'm like, okay, you don't, but your clients do. And if you go out there not representing what they believe in, stay true to yourself and everything you believe in. But when you go out there, you need to be approachable and you need to do what your clients would like, not what you personally like. You know what I mean? So for me, on my Petya 702, I wear sweaty clothes because it's a fitness, you know, it's a fitness account and it's just value about food and healthy lifestyle. That's fine. For my PK Media Solutions, I'm not going to post sweaty pictures after workout because that's not my niche. It's part of me. I believe in what I'm doing, but you need to know who your audience is and talk to
it's
them the
yeah.
way it resonates. So, Gabo, thank
It's
you.
funny that you said that. Yeah,
I really hope that my clients will hear that because some of them they're struggling with it because they don't want to go and change and they don't understand that I don't want them to change but I need them to sell, you know. It's different in business.
yeah. I I mean it's funny that you say that because like just yesterday organically, like you always seen that when I do my morning commute show or any show that I do, most of the time, 90% of the time I'm always on my tennis clothing. So I've been using my G Tennis Factory channel on Facebook to do my show and and everything, you know.
Okay.
Yesterday that I had those meetings, I was dressed up, didn't feel right, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on my Gobble Style Facebook page, and then I did like a little live video on that page, dressed differently, you know. And I talked about it. I said, you know what, like, oh, I just saw the opportunity that I'm actually dressed up, you know, that I haven't been able to do this, and that's why I decided to go live on this channel.
Yes,
So
yes.
yes, it's still being myself, but I can't be talking luxury and all this thing about this,
Yeah.
and then showing up like this. You
That's
know what I mean? And
exactly
this is,
right.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with this, let's say,
And I love that.
but I have to be coherent. I can't just go to the audience and say like, well, this is who I am, and you're gonna listen
No.
to me talk about luxury, even though I look like a
Until
tennis player.
yeah,
So you
until
have to
you have
be
the
smart.
following like Gary V, no, you cannot do it. Once you have that, you can wear whatever you want. But because people already will know
Yeah,
who you are. But for people
yeah,
who are going to see you for the first time, Unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is. People see you first, honestly. And you have to realize that sometimes that's a new follower, that's a new person. This is the first time they see you, and they will be like, this guy talks luxury. Like, look at him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The same if I have a personal trainers, and they're going to take a selfie and they will look like a crap and it's dark picture and they're eating pancakes, and that's the first impression and first thing that some stranger will see. I'm not hiring her. Like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. You know what I mean? So keep in
Yeah.
mind your audience. Whatever, it's still you. That's why we do the stories, guys. That's why we go on Snapchat.
I think it's respecting the audience.
Exactly.
It's more about respecting the audience, but being yourself. Like don't fake it. Don't put a suit just to talk to an audience that you're thinking to, because like that's not it. It's not about faking it. But I think it's just taking that extra thought about what makes sense to put out there. The content needs to be makes sense.
Exactly. No, I'm really happy that you mentioned it, because sometimes I struggle with it, with my clients, because they're like, "Oh, I don't think that matters." I'm like, "That's why you hired me." So yes.
To tell you that it does matter, and yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, honestly, I love what I do. You there? No, we see you perfectly. Yeah. Did we lost you now? You there? Yeah. Mario,
Yep.
you have your first mentor.
Yeah. I lost thought of track. I don't even know what I was saying.
We lost Gabo.
Yep.
No, you were saying with him about the webpage and about the community that you have there, which I think it's fantastic. Very
No,
small community.
I already spoke about that. We were talking about Instagram.
Yes.
We got to edit this, because every time that we talk about our we talk about our whatever, it gets cut in the conversation. So we're gonna have to like make sure that whatever we all say gets delivered in like package forms, because it wouldn't be confusing to the listener.
And also, it's a conversation, and we also need to leave a note in notes under.
Yeah, yeah. But we're gonna worry about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my Instagram this week, I've been getting a lot of good feedback on Instagram and on Snapchat. Um, on my stories, every time I put a call to action, I've been doing what Sean Ayala does. When I met him at Social Media Marketing World 2017, and we spoke, I got this idea from him for the Instagram stories and Snapchat stories is to storyboard your story. Is to make a storyboard, is to put in story form. So if you have an idea that you want to speak, you have an idea you want to convey, or you want to share your personal thoughts, whether it's comedy, whether it's something important, whether it's something serious, storyboard it, turn it into something fun that people are going to want to listen to on their Snap stories and on their Instagram stories, because you'll notice that there's a lot of people that abuse their audience, that abuse the power of social media, like we
What
were
do you
just
mean,
saying.
like abuse the
Like basically they abuse their audience, where they use their accounts and they use their time, instead of making it interesting, they think that holding a camera to their face and just being like, yeah, so I really think blah 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 blah, and then
Okay, I
that's
see.
10 seconds
And
of that, and then another 10 seconds of is a continuation of that. So you have like five
mhm.
or 4 to 5 10-second snaps or
Okay.
IG
And
or
can you
IG
please
stories.
also tell me a little bit more about the storyboard? I don't think I ever heard of that.
Yeah, so storyboarding. Yeah, so so just let me get to this point. So a lot of people usually use their phones just to keep talking and talking and talking. So for example, um, Charlene Johnson. She
Mhm.
is a marketing guru. You know what I mean? She's
Oh my
awesome.
God, she's
She's
going
awesome.
crazy.
She's beautiful. She's smart. She's great. She's great at what she does. But her Snapchat is fucking boring. I'm sorry if she hears this. My apologies. But I
Oh, so
again,
bad.
she's amazing in every other aspect. But it's nonstop. It's just a lot of talking. And maybe some people listen. Maybe some people actually enjoy that. Maybe some people
Yeah.
like to actually enjoy hearing 10 snaps continuously talking about one subject, but in 10-second increments. Some people might enjoy that. But I found that a lot of people, from my research, asking my friends, asking the group, asking my followers on Snapchat, on Instagram, and seeing how they react to certain snaps and certain days,
Mhm.
is when I have three consecutive snaps of me just talking, just my face in front of a camera talking, they're like, skip, 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 or they won't get the message. And how I could prove that is by the call to action. I'll put a call to action and I'll see if they're gonna if they actually if that recept if they recepted it. And most
Mhm.
of the time when I talk, they're like, fuck this guy, like skip, skip, skip. You know, they just click, they press on the screen, and then they click through your whole story. It says that they watched it, but they didn't absorb anything that you've said. How do you know that? It's because they didn't answer your call to action. So I decided to take another route, and I decided to storyboard like Sean Ayala does.
Mhm.
So, for example, I had a story about um, so this weekend, one of my friends, she was like, dude, if you would ever bring a girl home and on a first date or a second date, and she sees this recording hut, she's gonna think you're a murderer. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, yo, I never thought about it that way. That's very true, because if I
That's
was,
very cool, right?
yeah, I imagine somebody walking into a Brooklyn apartment, and then there's this black hut in the middle of the living room.
Do you know the show Dexter?
Exactly. That's
I
exactly.
love it. Oh my god. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I was like, that's actually verbatim what I told her. I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm gonna look like Dexter.
There you go.
That's exactly what I told her. And then that's exactly what I did for my Snapchat story. So I made a Snapchat story. I did the trick with the I turned off the Wi-Fi. I turned off everything. I put on airplane mode, and I started making the story of that. So instead of me getting on, see, I could have conveyed that. So it's so weird how it works. I can get on Snapchat or Instagram on on my stories, and just use two two continuous snaps or two continuous IG snaps or whatever stories, however you want to say it, use them consecutively, and just convey that message real quick. Just camera to face, and that's it. That's all they get is 20 seconds or whatever it is of me talking to them. But instead, I was like, yo, let me expand on this idea and turn it into something creative, something that's into a story. So I started doing the story, and I used everything that I could use around me, my environment, and I only have one phone. So I have Spotify. So before I put it on airplane mode, I downloaded whatever music that I wanted to use for my little series that I was about, the little story I was about to make. So my stories, my storyboards have usually been 10 to 12 snaps or 10 to 12 IG stories consecutively. And people actually rather watch 10 to 12 slides, I'm going to call them slides, compared to two slides or three slides of me talking and communicating that same message. They rather watch something in a longer period of time that grabs their attention to get that message than to hear your freaking mouth keep talking to the camera because it's not interesting to them.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I mean? So I
Mhm.
started storyboarding them. So I downloaded some scary music, Halloween music, and some light effects on my computer, and I started making the story. And now let me tell you, it takes a while to make a decent story. It really does, to storyboard it and make it interesting.
you get better at it, you know.
Yeah, oh, for sure, absolutely. By the time you get better at it, and then you start planning better for it, and you start
Yeah.
knowing what tools you need before you get started. So I made couple of slides, text, supplementing video, supplementing some images. And again, if you're going to use images in your Snap story, make sure that the images are not 10 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds long, because people are going to keep clicking through it. So you want the story to move on its own. So basically, let's say I have a slide. Let's say my first slide is a picture, then a video, like a 5 to 7 second video and then another picture, image that has text on it. Make the image last. Put the timer just enough for the people to read, and it moves on its own, so they can continue watching it and not worry about pressing the button. Because I feel that anytime they have to press with their thumb on the screen to move along your story, that means they're getting fed up. So don't even give them a second
Yeah.
to don't give them a chance to do that. Make it easy for them. So make the image and the text enough time for them to read it and move on to the next slide, and that keeps it flowing. It gives it a story. Again, you're storyboarding. It gives it a flow. So the timer function is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
That's
you
a
don't
good
have.
tip.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's only a Snapchat tip because IG you can't. I don't think you could put a timer on pictures. It's automated. But
Yeah.
yeah. But another thing that I realized that you can't really create. You can't really I mean, the way I'm storyboarding it, I feel Snapchat is easier to make a story, to storyboard your idea or your thought,
Mm-hmm.
way easier than Instagram, way easier because Snapchat gives you a lot of tools, creative tools. You get the Bitmojis, you get the timer, and I don't know. I just feel like it's
Yeah.
a little bit easier on there, mostly because of the Bitmojis, because I use the Bitmojis a lot in my storyboards because I'm using it part of
Yeah.
my branding. So I did that this past week, and I got tremendous. I got a lot of. I was so surprised. A lot of
Awesome. Good job.
Yeah, a lot of people reach out to me. They're like, "Oh my God, I would be scared as well." And like and that's feedback. That's great. That never happens. So just
That's
anything
awesome.
any kind of response I get, that means I'm poking at them the right way, and they're actually
Yeah.
listening to the end, because the end is the call of action. So that's cool.
Good
So
for you. That's
yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah. So
awesome.
I'm getting feedback on Snapchat and IG. I'm actually getting a lot of feedback, not from my stories. I mean, I'm getting a lot of feedback from my stories. People are replying to my stories a lot more. But when I
Yeah.
say a lot of feedback on Instagram, I mean by my posts. People, two people so far have direct messaged me. One of them I don't know. I met
Okay.
them on Instagram, and another person I studied with her in when I was going to college. We were
Okay.
in the same social media class. So the first guy that reached out to me, he was like, "Hey man, I really love your page because it
Gabo, you're
has
working already?
I really love your page because it has a lot of your posts serve me, and the
That's
people
awesome.
like me." Yeah, so that was in the beginning of the week, and in the middle of the week, I
It's
had
really
this
good.
my colleague, from school, reached out, and and I'm gonna read it to you. She goes, "How are you?" She goes, "Your posts are also amazing," with the thumbs up emoji. And I replied back to her. I told her I'm good and all that stuff, and I updated her myself. And then she goes, "Whatever you're doing is so different from the others. I like the way you explore and attract more people." She was like,
That's fantastic. That's exactly what was your goal. I remember when you were starting Instagram and
yeah,
you're like, I want to be different. That's
yeah,
fantastic. Good
yeah,
job.
yeah." So I
That's
told
really
I
awesome,
told her
Mario.
exactly that. I'm like, woman. I didn't say woman, but in my thoughts, I was like,
You
woman.
You
said
said
You
dude.
have.
dude.
You said dude.
Yes, you said
I
dude.
know. I say dude when I'm just like hanging out, but when I say
That's
woman, it's
awesome.
serious. So
Yeah,
I told
yeah.
You,
myself,
you said, dude.
Good for you,
yeah. So
Mario. That's fantastic.
yeah,
Your
because
mentor,
honestly,
you're getting feedback from people.
yeah,
That's
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 th-
that's
that's what
big.
that's what I really wanted to do the most. Honestly, on Instagram, my main focus was to stand out and to give value at the same time, which I think was one of the hardest things to do, is to stand out and give value, because I mean
Yeah,
that's how you completely separate yourself from other people. So I'm really
you
excited
did
about
it.
that, and
That's
it makes
awesome, dude.
me, yeah.
Good.
That's like actually
Gabo,
one of my
are you
biggest
I
already
have
things.
to run.
working?
I have to run. My clients are here.
Yeah, I have to run too. I mean, I'm
Okay.
running over already, and my computer
Okay.
is
Gotta
running
go.
low. Hi, we have a client there.
So I gotta
That's
go.
awesome. Good job.
I gotta, all
Gabo,
right. Yeah.
you
Gotta go.
run, and Mario, fantastic job. I love what you're doing. I really do. You're
I'm
putting the
gonna go
hard
pick up your
work in,
grandson. You
and
better be good.
the mentor will really make a difference. You will see. When I hired my first business coach last year, it completely changed my mindset. So this is just the start for you, and you're already fired up.
Yeah, I'm very excited, and Yeah,
Gabo, you're such a kid.
really, yeah, really excited.
No, you're
Yeah.
doing really great, Mario. Can't wait to see you grow.
Yes, I
I
gotta
can't
go
wait
check
to
it out.
see myself.
Go, Gabo. You
I gotta
run.
go.
I will message you later. I need to schedule appointment with you this weekend
Yes,
or next week.
I'm done here.
And Mario, you keep killing it. I will have to be watching more of your stories because I want to see a Dexter. I love it.
Yeah, I had a Dexter story this week.
Awesome.
See you
You
guys.
you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, bye.
All right.
Bye.